Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Generations! Last we met, we just conquered Sky Sanctuary. Now we have to do some side challenges to gather the keys to be able to fight the boss. Seems I'm always starting at the shop these days. I guess that's just because I bought myself a brand new Mega Drive! But I'll show you that later. For now, we're not going to do any specific challenges, we're just going to do any of the ones that are nearby to grab one of those keys there. Let's try this one, for example. We have to reach the goal before time runs out, but we have to watch out for the crumbling course. There are many different challenges, ones that get quite difficult later on. Some of them are quite difficult at the beginning if you don't know what you're doing, but in general, they're pretty reasonable. They also have a ranking system a lot like the levels, but dying in it doesn't really affect those, so I won't give a crap too much if I die. It's all about speed. But this challenge in particular is just to get to the goal ring and basically not fail to these crumbling platforms. Essentially, it's just like a normal level, no real special condition, just to be careful. And I really like the addition of challenges. Although it does force you to actually do them to move on, you only have to do one of each stage, and they're worth playing because they are different level layouts, apart from the ones where you have to race against your doppelganger. There are entirely new level layouts and gimmicks within these challenges, so it's definitely worth checking out, as well as being able to unlock extra music, extra art, and occasionally extra skills in the shop. It really makes it seem like the challenges are worth doing and actually extend the gameplay quite a bit. I also find it appropriate to mention that to show all the challenges was picked, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm only going to show you the 3 necessary challenges to get to the boss within the main series and have the other challenges as more side videos. I might not do them all, I might just pick out my favourite ones, because there are some that I think are completely dumb and not fun in any way, and then there are ones I love for completely different reasons. But I think that's the formula I'm going to follow. We'll just see how it goes. But we have just beaten a challenge, and that allows us to do 2 things. The first thing is to ring these bells. Ringing the bells sends a note flying out of it. If you catch it, you can unlock artwork and music. And then it also allows us to pick up the boss key. We have to collect 3 of these, which is 1 for each main stage. So naturally we now have to go to the chemical plant zone. Now for this one, I think I'm going to travel on the upper path, see what's up there and what we have available. And I think I'm also going to do it as Classic Sonic, because it's Chemical Plant Zone and I do prefer it as Classic Sonic. So let's do this one. Get the invincible power up to get past hordes of enemies to the goal. I'm pretty sure that picture demonstrated there's going to be a fuck ton of spikes as well, that's going to be fun. Now, all of the challenges have set goals, but for each challenge it can vary on what the item is, for example, or how many of such and such you have to do. For example, in this one we're using invincibility to get through hordes of enemies and spikes, where in another one it could be use said item to get past said level, but instead of invincibility it could be speed up shoes. So although the challenge is the same, use item to get to goal, the item will change. For a lot of the challenges there are variations of the same challenge in the other maps, but there are some unique ones that can be found. For example, one on Sky Sanctuary that I am probably going to show purely because I dislike it so much is, you know, the annoying things I said that are on Sky Sanctuary that you have to run on to gain altitude? Yeah, there's a whole challenge devoted to that, and you're racing Amy. It's like you mix hatred with hatred. Put it in a challenge. You make me hate everything. Everything. So I don't really think I'm going to be doing that one, although I might show it off just to demonstrate how ridiculous that sounds. But for the most part, a lot of these challenges are fun, and if you mess up, you will not get an S rank, so they are quite challenging as well. Some of them on the earlier stages do give you a bit of leeway, but essentially if you die or mess up dramatically, your chances are you're not going to get an S. So that's the second challenge down. Let's see what's behind the good old bell here. And it is Splash Hill Zone, music from Sonic 4. And we've got our next key. So, oh look, we'll just ignore what was up there. So next up we have Sky Sanctuary, and I think we're going to go for a doppelganger race. Now naturally I do like the classic stage of Sky Sanctuary, but let's try changing the music. We're going to change it for our... No, let's change it to Emerald Hill. At least it kind of makes it seem a little bit more relevant, because Sky Sanctuary seems like the place it would have emeralds in, I guess, is what I'm going for. I don't really get where Splash Hill would fit into Sky Sanctuary. I guess if you fell off into the sea, you'd make a splash. Not that I would do that, I mean, I'm pretty good at this game anyway, so... Okay, yeah, so, I done goofed. What can I say? I don't know, I just wanted to hit the button and I thought I hit the button, I just didn't hit the button. So, lesson learned, hit the button. So, the doppelganger race, what does that consist of? Well, it just consists of the actual level, and you just racing a shadow, one's true self. Wait. But it is basically just a race to the end. You have a time limit to actually get an S rank, and that's usually you have to beat the doppelganger by quite a bit. But to make this a little bit more interesting, I've decided to go a few different routes through Sky Sanctuary. Last time you saw me take the bottom path, this time I'm going on a little bit more of a scenic route. Though I must admit, the sign of a good game here, there are some routes throughout these levels I haven't actually seen myself yet, so there might be times when I get a bit confused trying to go a different way that I've never been before.
To boldly go where no hedgehog has gone before.
And I must admit, it does feel a bit weird playing this to the Emerald Hill Zone. And I think that's one thing I'm going to do during some of these duplicate races or ones that use just the original music. For example, this one would have just used the Sky Sanctuary music, and you've heard that already. So, I think in the challenges I'm going to show you in these other videos, I might change the music up a bit to make it a little bit more interesting and to show off some of the musical changes. Now, I've done something pretty fancy there to take this different route, and I'm a little bit confuzzled because I kind of done it on purpose but didn't, so I didn't know that hole was there. Thankfully, as I mentioned before, dying does not really impede the progress here, especially with doppelganger races, because respawning is usually pretty quick, and especially since I was that close to a checkpoint, wasn't really that much of a problem. And I'd also like to point out the remix of the invincibility music is pretty kick-ass. It's not changed much, but it's still pretty awesome. Uh-oh. I went the wrong way. Oh, don't spin dash. You should learn to not spin dash all the time. I don't know why I do it. Force of habit, I think. It's so like I have that feeling of speed so I don't waste time. I really gotta stop doing it, to be honest. So I've only got about 25 seconds left if I want to get an S rank, but I am quite near the end. Thankfully, as I said, dying and no rings and, well, time counts, but rings and deaths do not count towards the S rank. So as long as I take it easy and get to the checkpoint before the time, I'll make an S rank. And that was all 3 challenges we need to do to fight the next boss. Well, the first boss. But what could this first boss be? Could it be the classic from Sonic 1? Could it be that weird driller machine from Sonic 2? Well, we'll find out in a minute. But first, we need to collect a musical note. Oh no, that note's running away. But thankfully we can zoom out by pressing the left trigger and wait for its return, because usually the notes do go in some kind of circuit, so it's best to just wait if it runs off. Is that a pinball machine? Cool, but not important right now. So let's use our keys to unlock the cogs, allowing us to enter the boss stage. And as you can see to the left, there's a white Chaos Emerald. Does this mean from defeating the boss we will get a Chaos Emerald? Do the Chaos Emeralds hold relevance in a Sonic game? More than likely. So now the boss gate is open, head on through to face the boss. The question mark boss.
Take a good look at yourself, Sonic.
Dr. Eggman!
It's the last look you'll get before I close your eyes forever.
Another Sonic? What? Wait a second!
This boss, man. This boss was such a bitch. You'd have no rings for the entire thing. You'd think you'd be doing well, then for some goddamn reason the game glitches out just a slight bit and you fall just a little bit too far and die. Or the classic is you jump just a little bit too late and get hit by one of the spikes on his hands. This boss was classic, so much so that they used it as the final boss in Sonic 4 as well. Also has some kick-ass music. I think one of the saddest parts about this boss is how ridiculously easy it's become. Having said that, it's now the first boss of the game, so it makes sense that it's become easy. It's just sad to see the memories of the final boss of Sonic 2 now reduced to that of a first boss in a remake. That epic feeling you finally got when you destroyed the Death Egg and it exploded as you ran and escaped. Now it's just your plaything and your bitch. So the pattern is pretty simple. You first have to dodge his aiming arm, and when he jumps, get behind him to basically boot him in the butt. Do that twice and he'll activate his second phase, which is pretty simple as well. As you run along, he will aim his arm towards you. You have to activate one of these bombs, or so I believe, there might be another way to do it, and get him to punch it. In doing so, you can then jump on his arm to roll along it and hit him in the face. Again, you only have to do this 2 times and then the boss is done. So as I said, very dumbed down. On hard mode, it doesn't really change much more, just gives you a few more hits that you have to do. But make sure you do press jump when you go down that arm or you will get flung off. Done that before, was quite ridiculous. But with that, we've already defeated the first boss. You were a final boss once, now look at you. Sad to see what you've become. But let's see how well we did. I think there is some merit to getting rings and such, but essentially if you do it in a really quick time, you get an S rank anyway, so that's pretty damn awesome. So let's see the cutscene and end our video for the day.
What? No! No! Sonic! Save me!
can't believe there's two of me.
I think I figured it out. Yeah, me too. Doubles of us. Places and enemies from our past. We're traveling through time and space.
How did this happen?
I think it's got something to do with that big thing that just kidnapped Eggman. It sounds like the same thing that kidnapped your friends. I mean our friends. You know what I mean. There it is! Where'd it go?
We need to find that thing, and fast!
So, with the Death Egg robot defeated, 3 more stages have become available to us. But we'll have to save that for another time, as we are running pretty long in this episode already. We can now access and explore the next area. But until then, I'm MegaGWolf, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And I'll see you on the next Let's Play Sonic Generations. I think we're going to start off next video by getting a Chaos Emerald. Later! Hello, I'm MegaGWolf and welcome to Let's Play Sonic Generations. As you can see, we're in the Green Hill Zone and the graphics look lovely. The HD remake really makes it stand out with its amazing graphics and attention to detail of the classics. Hell, it almost looks like I'm playing one of the classics.